Ladies and gentlemen, there is an update on the Bob Lee case out in San Francisco. I'm going to go ahead and play this video from Fox News.
Have breaking news right now. It seems there might have been an arrest in the murder of the tech executive Bob Lee. We have Jeff Paul. He is there in Los Angeles. This crime happened in San Francisco last week. Jeff, what do you know?
Yeah, Dana, we reached out to the San Francisco police to confirm this report that first appeared in the Mission Local. But apparently the killer, according to this report, works in tech and is a man familiar with Bob Lee. Apparently, they were in a car together, and that's when the stabbing happened, according to the Mission Local. Now, the report indicates that the man was arrested in the Bay Area. Now, just to remind you, Lee was killed last week. Investigators say they were called out to San Francisco's Embarcadero waterfront around 2:30 a.m. last Tuesday. That's when they found Lee, who had been stabbed. Medics tried to save him, but Lee later died at the hospital. Bob Lee's father, Rick Lee, had wrote on Facebook that he basically had lost his best friend. Dana?
You know, it's interesting, Jeff, yesterday, that Mayor London Breed, when she was doing an interview, she said that when more information came out about this case, that people would be surprised. That might have been what she was talking about?
I think so. And I think for a lot of people who have been following what's going on in San Francisco, I think the first indication was maybe it was random, just given the amount of crime that happens there. But now it seems like, according to the Mission Local, and again, we're trying to confirm these reports, that it was someone he was familiar with, somebody he was, according to this report, in a car with at the time of this stabbing, Dana.
Jeff Paul, thank you for that breaking news.
Wow.
We'll keep on top of it. This
All right.
just broke literally during, while Harris was doing her tease for her
That's
show,
right.
so
Remember,
she'll have more as well.
It was reported at 2:30 in the morning.
Yes.
And apparently he's on the surveillance camera or video near the Bay Bridge, I do believe. And he's calling 911. He approached a car that had flashing lights on the side of the road. And according to the reports in the video, that he pulls up his shirt to show the stab wounds underneath his skin. And the car drove away. And then that forced him to search for more help, and in the end, it was just too late for that. But it put a fine point on some of the crime that we've been reporting on in cities like San Francisco.
Ladies and gentlemen, they finally caught the killer of Bob Lee, Cash App founder, and it was another tech exec. His name is Nima Momeni. And the incident happened inside of a car. That's where Bob Lee was stabbed, and they were in a car together. So apparently he knew and worked with this person. So, what are the chances of a tech exec killing another tech exec? So, a suspect was arrested in connection with the fatal stabbing in San Francisco of Cash App founder Bob Lee. Police said more than a week after the tech exec's death shocked Silicon Valley. Nima Momenti, 38, was arrested by San Francisco police Thursday morning and booked on a murder charge, said Bill Scott, the San Francisco police chief. Mr. Lee, 43, was fatally stabbed in the early morning hours of April 4th. The suspect and the victim knew each other, according to Chief Scott. He declined to elaborate on the motive for the killing. This is more about human nature and human behavior than it was about our city, Chief Scott said. This is not about San Francisco. The reason why he's saying that is because it's extremely violent. And these kind of attacks are always happening in San Francisco. I think sometimes people don't know how bad it is, but these type of murders like Bob Lee is very commonplace in San Francisco. So Mr. Momeni is scheduled to be arraigned Friday on the murder charge, according to Brooke Jenkins, San Francisco district attorney. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Some tech industry executives slammed San Francisco over the crime after Mr. Lee's murder. Um, and I did see that his brother put something out as soon as Nima Momeni was arrested out on Twitter. And some tech industry executives slammed San Francisco. And last week, Elon Musk tweeted violent crime in San Francisco is horrific. And even if attackers are caught, they are often released immediately. So at Thursday's press conference, the city officials hit back at their critics. Ms. Jenkins, the district attorney, called Mr. Musk's comments reckless and irresponsible, saying such statements serve to mislead the world in their perceptions of San Francisco. Well, I usually don't agree with Elon Musk on too many things, but when it comes down to San Francisco, he's right. Okay. So, this is really tragic, and I think because he was such a high profile person, Bob Lee, it really did put a big spotlight on San Francisco, whether they like it or not. And they said where he was murdered in Rincon Hill, it's one of those real pricey areas over there. Not that it's cheap to live in San Francisco, because we know it's very expensive to live there. Mr. Lee is known for creating Cash App, which people can use to transfer money, buy crypto, and trade stock. He made the app while he was a chief technology officer at Square Inc., known as Block Inc., where he worked from 2010 to 2014. And his brother, Tim Oliver Lee, wrote on Facebook Thursday morning, "We're thankful for SFPD for bringing this person to justice so quickly." So I'm sure over the next few days, it's going to be a lot more coming out about this story. He said Mr. Lee had been living in Miami since October after moving from California. Mr. Lee's father, Rick Lee, this is what he posted on Facebook earlier this month. He couldn't determine why Lee was in San Francisco when he died. So if he moved to all right, so he left California altogether. But his father said he has no idea why he returned back to San Francisco. So I'm sure, like I said, there'll be more coming out now that the killer, and apparently this was the only person he was with that night. So they seem to be really sure this is definitely the person. So, y'all, please let me know what you think about this update on them apprehending Nima Momeni, the killer of Bob Lee. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.